Okay.
Are we live on Zoom?
Yes, sir. It's
We have several
We have one, and I'm waiting for them to respond because their name is Music.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cuero Municipal Court. And for those of you folks online, Zoom-wise, welcome to you too. This day and age, with all the changes, we're actually doing two types of court proceedings. Those of you that are live this morning here in the courtroom, and then those of you that are with us live via Zoom. So let me make a few announcements on what we'll do this morning. Hopefully it'll be of some assistance to you in taking care of your matter. What I'll do in a minute or so, I will call your name, and when I do, come on up to the front. For those of you on Zoom, when we call you, we will bring you into the room and deal with you on an individual basis, your case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to either read or explain the charge that's been filed against you. Once you tell me that you understand it, then I'll go to the next part of it, and that's to enter a plea of either guilty, not guilty, or no contest. Those are the three pleas that are available under the law. And once we have one of those, we'll then proceed to the next part. Now, let me just go over something which I think may be somewhat obvious, but let's just review it to make sure, because you're not down here all the time. Hopefully, this is your first time and only time. Anyway, if you enter a plea of not guilty, that means you're contesting the charges. That means you are going to be exercising your constitutional right to have the state, and that's how we refer to the prosecution of the charges, usually by the police department, to prove beyond a reasonable doubt whether you're guilty or not guilty. And we've commonly referred to that as having your day in court. Now, what has been instituted for some time now, and we find that it's a very effective way to resolve some of these issues, is what's called a pretrial conference. It's a situation where you and the prosecutor, I am not a party to that, but we do a date to return to court, either in person or via the Zoom, and you will then have an opportunity to discuss your matter with the prosecutor. If you can reach an agreement with him, is then presented to me, and if I think it's reasonable, I approve it, and that takes care of the matter. If you cannot reach an agreement, then you come back to me and decide whether you want your case tried either in front of a jury, which consists of 6 people from the residents of the city of Cuero, or have it tried in front of me. Now, if you are planning on foregoing that and entering a plea of guilty or no contest says I don't admit or deny it. Guilty says I admit to the charge. Most of the time, a no contest plea has something to think about if you were involved in some type of accident or some kind of physical confrontation where there might be a possibility of a civil lawsuit. So once you enter either one of those pleas, then I have the right, and I want to visit with you concerning the matter. If you have something to say after that plea is entered, I'm here to listen to it. I'm going to listen to it, and I'm going to take it into consideration in the disposition I make. And what I try to emphasize to everyone is that I have to have the plea guilty or no contest before you and I can visit. And again, this is strictly to protect your constitutional rights. Remember, you are innocent until proven guilty. So please keep that in mind. I know most of you are not familiar with court proceedings. A lot of folks want to talk about the matter. I'm here to listen to it, but we need to go ahead and have a plea first. For those of you online, and as far as I go, you folks here this morning, if you are going to enter a plea, and as far as paying that fine, first of all, we are very cognizant of the times that exist in this country and this city. And if you need some time, you ask me, we'll talk about it and we'll give you some time. If you want to go online to pay that matter, you can do so. Google City of Cuero, and then when it comes to the departments, pull up municipal court, type in your date of birth, and that should bring up your matter. If you have any difficulty with doing that, pick up the phone, call us, and we will walk you through it and get it done. So with that said, we'll go ahead and get started with this morning's docket.
We got a juvenile will return to third.
Saints. How y'all been?
How are you, sir?
All right. Well, we're still here and still survived, and I guess that's good. How about y'all? How about your family?
Very good, sir.
All right, well, very good. All right, let's talk about what we have here. It looks like back we had a no driver's license charge, put him on deferred. And how about the license?
I still have my permit right now. He didn't have his permit before.
Let's see it.
It took a while. Now we got it.
Let's make a copy of that. So you've got the permit where you're still required to have someone with him.
Yes, sir. We had thought that that was already done though, and there's some confusion because he already went through that program. And when we had to go back and do everything all over again, we provide birth certificates and all that we couldn't actually get them again. They told us it started again from that point. So I don't understand. They're making him do the 6 months over.
Who is they that told you?
When we went to go get his picture and everything, we took him all the documentation. It was a big packet. And we even took him the first one, showing him the parent talk and all the hours that were logged in and everything.
Well, let me tell you this. You say you don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, it sometimes I feel more and more it depends on who's working that day.
Yes, that's true.
That's not a judicial opinion. That's just a thought, because I had too many good folks come before me. And well, first of all, the big issue for a long time was even getting anybody to answer the phone. Then they don't have, okay, we have the fine and court costs outstanding.
Right.
Okay. How much time do y'all need to do that?
How much is it, sir?
Let's see. Let me see what my notes say. That was going to be the amount. I didn't make a note, but I'm going to do what I do for everyone else. I'm going to reduce it down to $100 in cost. So it'll be a total of $181. Get that done in 30 days?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'll be responsible.
That way you don't have to worry about paying a $15 fee to get it knocked out. All right. Any questions?
So how does this work? We have this temporary one and we just continue waiting.
It says on there, what I read briefly on there, let me look at this thing. It says it's under 21 till 7/31/2025. Now, if they've got some other rules and regulations, let me see, what's his? He was born in 04. Well, 16, that doesn't seem right.
There's a lot of confusion.
Yeah, I think there is.
We're still confused.
I think maybe perhaps they issue a temporary for this amount of time. And I'm not telling you this is advice to follow up. I'm looking at this thing for the first time.
Yes.
But might want to visit with him, because he's going to be what, 17 on the 31st?
Yes.
I'd say try talking to him, find out why he can't go forward with getting one.
Yes.
I don't know. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Zoom or in person?
In person.
Cody Britsky? Good morning.
Good morning, Honor.
You didn't drive in from Adkins, did you?
Yes, sir. I'm working in Victoria right now, driving home actually.
Okay, because I was fixing to say, if you did, why didn't you get on this thing?
All right.
All right, Cody, what I'm looking at, apparently on July 9th, you got wrote up for alleged speeding 48 and 35, 13 miles over. Guilty, not guilty, no contest.
Not guilty.
All right. Let me just go over again what I said a while ago when we got started. What's going to happen, and make sure that before you leave today, we've got a good email on you, and we'll send you a notice when you'll have we call it a pre-trial. It's a meeting, and perhaps with you working, you might want to consider doing it this way to save yourself a trip. I tell a lot of people, and I don't know whether I'm right, wrong, or somewhere in between, if there's anything good to be said about this pandemic thing, the fact of folks not having to travel back to the city, I think it's helpful. I really do. Anyway, you'll get a notice from us, and on that particular date, however you want to do it, come back or do the Zoom, and you and Mr. Crane will visit, discuss with him your position on it. And as I said before, if y'all can work something out, it's presented to me. If I think it's something that's good, we'll approve it and be done. If not, then you and I'll talk about how we're going to try the case.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Just go ahead and make sure you get the email over there.
Okay, these are recent.
Scott Adams. Morning, Scott. I'm looking at a charge written on June the 23rd. Alleged for no seatbelt. Understand it?
Yes.
Guilty, not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
$50 fine. Court cost is $134. It's a total of $184. You take care of that today or need a little time?
38, if you don't mind.
Sure. All right, they'll take care of it. You're done.
Thank you very much.
That's in person.
Brian Rogers. Morning, Brian.
Good morning, sir.
Everybody on Zoom, you're up next. Not everybody at once, but at each time. We're going to get to y'all real quick. Hopefully, we'll get through this docket pretty quick. All right, I'm looking at a citation written on June the 24th for no vehicle liability insurance. You understand the charge? Guilty, not guilty, no contest.
Guilty.
All right, what's the story on why we don't have insurance?
Well, I was under the impression I was under my grandmother's insurance because I just bought the car a couple months ago.
Right.
And apparently I wasn't. She said there was.
Did you buy insurance?
Yeah, she said there was no sign of any insurance at all.
Wow.
According to the guy who I bought the car from, I had to have insurance to take the car.
Right.
And he made a bunch of calls to put it on there. So
Well, do you have insurance? Do you have insurance on it?
On the car? No, I never switched it, but I mean, I'm in the process of doing that. I'm finding an insurance company that will insure me.
Well, you got this back in June. Today is July 21st. You hadn't gotten it done?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You have not?
No.
All right. Court costs and fines a total of $281. How much time you need to pay it?
Well, I actually have a payment plan already installed for previous tickets that I've gotten. Is there any way that I can add that to it? So just recently switched jobs.
Yeah, what we're doing is we're pulling up your record, so then I'll give you an answer to it. Just bear with us a minute.
Maybe with a different court, because this is the only thing he has open with us.
Okay.
It
All
wasn't,
this
it
other
wasn't
stuff
this
is
court.
closed.
Okay. Well,
I mean,
30 days because I don't get paid till next week.
I can give you longer if you want. It's an additional $15 that goes to go over 30 days.
30 days is fine.
All right. 281 within 30 days. Thank you, Brian.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, let's go to Zoom.
She has to ask him his name. She hasn't had any luck.
I messaged him like 3 times.
Okay.
I could just ask him to unmute.
It says like, I think he's
Okay, now he's
unmuted. All right, we need your name so we can pull your file.
Perfect.
Can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
All right, we need your name so we can pull your file.
Hadley Bohr.
Hadley Bohr. All
Yes.
right.
Parent guardian. It's a juvenile. I did see someone a second ago.
All right, Hadley, I saw a lady ducking in and out of the camera. Is that your mother?
That's my aunt.
Okay, who's your legal guardian?
My mom.
Where is she?
She has to quarantine right now, but she's on speaker.
Okay. And is her last name Bora?
It's Brown.
Brown? Brown, what's her first name?
What's her first name? Crystal.
Miss Brown, good morning. Can you hear me?
Barely.
Barely. All right. Well, let me try to get a little closer to the mic. And how about that? Is that any better?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, you're the custodian parent. You're also the responsible party. So the reason we have you participating is because Hadley is under the legal age to be in court by himself. Do you understand this?
I couldn't understand him.
She said the reason you're in with me is because I'm under the age to be in the court by myself.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do understand that.
All right. Well, thank you very much. So what we're going to do now is we're going to see if we can take care of what's here in front of me. It looks like Brenda, you got wrote up for alleged speeding 44 and a 30. Do each of you understand that's why Bradley's in court?
Yes, sir.
All right. To that charge then, Bradley, you can plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest. How do you want to plead?
No contest.
All right, I'm going to accept that plea. I'm going to set a fine of $70 in court costs of 76 is going to be a total of $146. Now, Brenda Hadley, let me say this to you. The officer wrote this under one of our city ordinances. What that means is that we don't have to report this on your driving record. So for whatever reason, that officer, I will tell you, gave you a big break because there is a substantial difference in the number of convictions you can have as a juvenile before you get your license pulled than other folks. So I hope you keep that in mind, and I also hope you slow down. How much time you need to pay the 146?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
How much time you need to pay it?
Sir?
How much time do you need to pay the $146?
As soon as I can.
As soon as I can.
All right, I'll give you 30 days.
30 days. Okay. Yes, sir.
That'll work?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a good day. Thanks, Mom.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Y'all have a good one. All right, what do we have next?
That's all, folks.
That's it? Wow.
Quick. Oh, Kate,
Oh,
you
what
gotta
are we
get the
going to
mail.
do?
It's only 9:19.
Oh.
You can ride in the back of my truck.